welcome back to my channel and welcome to weeks 31 and 32, my pregnancy update. Oh my goodness, y'all, I wrote a note. I wrote a whole note for weeks 31 and 32 and somehow it got deleted, misplaced. It just got sucked into like the internet universe. I don't know, but it's not my pregnancy brain. I know I wrote a note. I was in like keeping notes and I was so excited to share with you all my symptoms because there was so much to share, but I can't find it for the life of me, so I'm gonna have to do it from memory. So like, bless us all, hopefully I can do it. How are you guys feeling? How are you doing? Let me know down in the comments what week of pregnancy you are on. I feel like a lot of us are all within the same few weeks. Like I know some of my friends already gave birth. My October babies came. But yeah, let me know when you are giving birth and if you guys feel ready. I feel ready. I feel ready. And I've mentioned in a few vlogs back that I felt very emotionally ready. And I want to say like now we're getting to the point where we're like 90% physically ready with all the baby stuff. I'm gonna film a whole like baby products haul. Because we have a bunch of stuff in boxes in our bedroom of stuff that we bought for the baby. It's just a matter of setting it all up, and now a lot of it is sort of waiting maybe another 2 to 3 weeks before like actually putting some of the things together, and I'll talk more about that in that video. But it's crazy. When I'm filming this, it's Tuesday, October 6th. I think this is gonna go up on Friday the 9th. I have 6 weeks left until my C-section. 6 weeks. I am so excited. I'm nervous, obviously, and like scared and anxious. All those feelings about having a C-section. I also have recently become very emotional about the thought of not being a family of 3 anymore, and like Hugo graduating to being a big brother and like what that means. And so like all of those thoughts are starting to play through my head, and it's just becoming like very real very quickly. Let's talk about some of the symptoms I've been experiencing. I'll start first with like, oh, such a lovely one. I've been feeling this little guy move and kick, and it feels so cool to know that like there's a little baby human in here and I'm gonna meet him so soon. It's just the coolest. So he's been moving a lot. I had a midwife appointment. Was it last Tuesday? Yeah, I guess it was last Tuesday. Wow, time knows no meaning in 2020. I had a doctor's appointment last Tuesday with, I should say, an appointment with my midwife. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but let me talk about some of the symptoms. Besides just being so out of breath, because you guys know that's been a consistent theme for the past few weeks, and I don't see that letting up anytime soon. I have been so hot. So hot. I'm so hot all the time. And we are in we are in October now, and I live in the northeast of the United States. And we have those like, we've been having picture perfect fall days, like gorgeous weather, like 70 degrees, sunny, gorgeous. And I'm over here like in a tank top, sweating. At night, I'm so hot. I'm so hot. And for a little while, I was turning the air down. Like I was putting the air conditioning on and like turning it down because I was so hot in the middle of the night. But now I've caved to just being hot because I don't want Hugo to get sick and I don't want Jeff to get sick. And I'm so hot. So hot all the time. I also talking about sleeping. Sleeping has been pretty rough, but like such is your life when you are in your 3rd trimester / when you have a newborn. And I read that getting up to pee 1,000,000 times during the night is your body's way of preparing you for getting up with your newborn 1,000,000 times a night. And so to a certain extent, I am grateful that, you know, getting up 1,000,000 times during the night once he's here won't feel too jarring, I guess. I mean, there is no real way to prepare yourself unless you are physically getting up during the night before your baby's around and just like sitting for a half hour. But I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't. No, I remember the same thing happening with Hugo, and you know, it's tough, especially like being so heavy. And I've definitely reached that point of pregnancy where like in bed, everything feels uncomfortable. I have a pillow by my stomach, I have the pillow by my knees, but still everything is uncomfortable. And so the little bit of sleep I do get, I do feel grateful for. I am getting up in the middle of the night like 6 to 7 times to pee, and that seems kind of insane, but it is what it is. And sleep is just, you know, sleep from this point forward is going to be, excuse me, it's going to be a little tough. That's another symptom I should mention is I have a little bit of a sniffly nose, and I have been experiencing some like very light headaches. Now, if we weren't living in 2020, none of that stuff would like concern me. But being that we are living through a pandemic, I have found that any time I experience any sort of little symptom, even if it's a season, like even if it's because of the seasons changing, I get so nervous, right? And so that's kind of where I am right now. Like I have a little bit of a sniffly nose, a little bit of a headache. I don't have a fever. I don't have extreme fatigue. Like everything else is fine. So I'm convincing myself that I don't have COVID. But that's definitely been like such a weird part about being pregnant this year. Like anybody else, like it's so bizarre to have to, and sad to have to think about that, and for that to be like on your mind, and just like kind of holding your breath and holding in the anxiety and hoping that everything's okay. So speaking of doctor's appointments, did I mention, was I talking about doctor's appointments? I don't know. Pregnancy brain, a real thing. Let's talk about my midwife appointment that I had last Tuesday. So last Tuesday, I'm looking at my calendar, I think I was 31 weeks. Yeah, I was 31 weeks and 5 days. I met with my midwife, and it was a really short appointment. It was like kind of in and out. I got my Tdap shot, my Tdap vaccine. I had received my flu vaccine from them 2 weeks prior, I believe. I'm sort of in the realm of now like going every 2 weeks. And yeah, the appointment sort of happened. If you watch that vlog, I was kind of, I don't know, this one particular midwife that I see who is a very nice person. There's just something about our styles that don't jive. She's very curt and quick, and I felt like my appointments with her have been very like in and out. And I had wanted to ask her a few questions that actually you guys had brought up. Like so many of you had asked, if you go into labor early but you're scheduled to have a C-section, what happens? And so that was something that I wanted to ask her, and I did. And the answer was just like super quick, and she, like I could just tell that she was just done. So the answer to that question, by the way, was just that I would call and they would like have to start preparing the operating room for me, I guess. But then like her answer was a little vague, because she was like, oh, but you know what, if like worse came to worse and you had to deliver naturally, like you'd be okay. And I was like, I'm sorry, like sure, I would hope that I would be okay, but like, have you read my chart? That's not the plan, not the plan. And then she finished the session by saying, she finished the appointment by saying that at my next appointment, we'd be talking about labor and delivery. She's like, I know you're having a C-section, but like, we'll talk about labor. Like, sis, no, we're not talking about labor. I want to talk about the C-section. So my next appointment I made is with the doctor. I feel a whole lot better knowing that I will actually get to talk to the doctor about my plans moving forward. So hopefully in like another week or two, I should have my birth plan video out for you guys and be able to talk to you a little bit more in depth about what our plan is, because like that's something we need to know, because so many of my apps have been saying like, time to pack your hospital bag. I'm like, time to pack my hospital bag. Like, I mean, 6 weeks is not a lot of time, but also feels like kind of soon to be packing my hospital bag. But I get it, because I guess if you're giving birth naturally, you wouldn't exactly know. I don't know. I feel like after I meet with I have my next appointment next week. After I meet with my doctor, I think I'll feel a lot more confident in like what's going on, because it's felt a little wishy-washy these past few weeks, which is fine. I have a growth ultrasound next week, which is really exciting. We'll get to see baby boy. I feel him moving now. And what else? I'm taking all the same vitamins. Belly has also been feeling kind of itchy lately, you know? And so I've been lotioning up the bell, using just the Whole Foods brand 365, like no fuss lotion. I definitely didn't want to use anything that had like parabens or any of the bad stuff in it. and something, like I'm really particular about lotions. I just don't love how they feel on my skin. And so this lotion that I've been using has been feeling really good. Also, I definitely now have the line going up my belly, which you'll see in my belly shot. So that like sort of came out of nowhere the past 2 weeks. And I have been experiencing, I mentioned this a few times, some swelling in my hands, my feet, and my ankles, but nothing insane, nothing that I would be overly concerned about, just something that I've been keeping an eye on and something that I've noticed because my rings are so tight on my fingers. My hands look like little sausages and my rings are so tight. At the end of my pregnancy with Hugo, my first son, I did have to wear my rings around a necklace by the end. I think for the last month I wore them on a necklace. And so I envision that is probably gonna happen this time because they're pretty tight. I can still get them off, especially like, I mean, right now would be like a little bit of a struggle to get them off, but in the mornings, you know, everything seems to be a little less swollen. So maybe in a few weeks I'll do that. I'll do that little shift and change. But yeah, if there are any questions you guys think I should be asking my doctor about the C-section, I have a bit of a list going and some things that you guys have mentioned before in the past. But yeah, anything that you think I should ask my doctor about the C-section or anything you think I should prepare is really helpful. So leave that down below. And yeah, I will get to, I mean, after I meet with my doctor, I will start the whole like hospital bag packing process for myself and the baby. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, like, I am not gonna be one of those moms who like the second or third time around doesn't pack as much. Like, no. It doesn't matter if I'm going on a vacation or, you know, just out for the day. Like, I am an overpacker by nature. I'd rather have it than not have it. And so I'm sure I'll be packing way too much. But if you're like me and you just would rather feel prepared, then keep an eye out for that video. Oh, I did also want to mention, I don't know if I mentioned this in a vlog, I did get my thyroid test results back. I can't remember last time I said that I had some extra blood work done. My endocrinologist wanted me to get some blood work done to see how the thyroid medication was holding up, and everything looks great. So he said that keep taking the medication. The day that I give birth, I can stop, and 3 months after having given birth, they will do my blood again, draw my blood again, and we'll see how my thyroid is. So all of that sounded really positive. It's really nice to know that, like, okay, just this dosage is really good. I feel like I can't talk. This dosage works well, and I can just keep on keeping on with that. So let me show you a belly shot now before I forget. All right, this is my week 32 belly. So like I mentioned, the line, you can see it now. It goes all the way up. And the belly feels big. The belly feels big. It feels heavy. You can see it's just getting bigger with every week, which is great because it means that baby is getting bigger and healthier and heavier. And yeah, I feel like it's a pretty consistent in terms of like, it hasn't like gotten any lower, hasn't gotten any higher. But there he is. That's it, friends. That is my pregnancy update. I promise that for my next pregnancy update, I don't even know what happened to the note with all of my freaking symptoms on it. You know, my pregnancy brain questions whether I even wrote a note, but I know I did. I wrote a lot of things on the note. Can't remember any of them, but there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.